If you're feeling a bit lost or stuck right now in life, it's totally okay. More recently, I actually went through an experience where I myself actually felt a little bit lost and a little bit stuck. Back in September, like end of September, no, I guess it was like September 18th, so it was closer to mid-September. I finished like a 5-6 month sales program, so I went and did like door-to-door sales. I know it's as bad as it sounds. And after that finished, I actually felt a little bit of depression, as strong as that may sound. Like I actually felt a little bit lost, kind of sad, because I didn't really know like what was next with my life. I had this like just feeling of confusion and doubt, and more than anything, I just wanted clarity because I don't know, everyone's been telling me, oh, go to school, do this, do that with your life, trying to tell me almost how to run my life or in what direction to take it. And in my opinion, I'm like, I don't want to just go to school or just start something, that I'm not even passionate about, like I want to know where my life is going. I don't need to know every single detail, of course, but I just want to have a clear path before I make a big decision, like just going to university, right? Or starting like this big job or whatever the case may be. And so it honestly, I totally get where you're coming from. If you feel that sense right now where you feel a little bit lost, a little bit stuck, confused, maybe a bit depressed as well, know that you're not alone. Like I think it's actually a pretty common feeling. And so honestly, it really just comes down to how we deal with it, right? Because sometimes these little, I guess, scenarios or episodes in life can last a while. Like for me, it lasted probably like a month and a half before I started to like gain some actual clarity on what I'm supposed to do with my life and in what direction or what next steps I should be taking. But honestly, this feeling of feeling stuck or behind in life or just sort of lost, it's probably one of the most unspoken of feelings, but it's honestly, I think, one that's very common and just like, honestly, it's terrible in general, right? Like the best way I can describe it is just like purposeless. Like you wake up and you just have this lump in your throat or almost this like hole in your heart. I don't want to get too poetic here, too Shakespeare on you, but just this sense of overall just darkness. And again, that sounds so depressing and insane, but allow me to elaborate a little bit more. It more than anything, you just sort of feel like, every day you're waking up and you're doing your normal things. Maybe you're going to the gym, whatever. Maybe you are working a job. I know I wasn't when I was doing it. I was just sort of riding off the savings that I'd earned from that sales job previously. But, maybe you're working a job. You're just sort of doing the daily things. Maybe you actually go and hang out with some friends as well. But you just sort of don't feel present. Like you just don't really feel like you're there in that moment. And it's really sad. It really, really, really is. And so it's like, what do we do in these scenarios, right? Like, what do we do when we actually come to these crossroads where we're feeling a little bit lost, a little bit scared more than anything, and we don't really know like what the next path is or the next step is? And something that I actually did, as cringy as this might sound, I went on ChatGPT and I hit like the little voice feature because you can actually like talk to it and it will give you answers back. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to prompt this thing to ask me deep questions so I can get to know myself better and help me kind of figure out like what path or what career path I should like look into more and see which one might actually make the most sense for me. So that's exactly what I did. I'm just talking to it. I said, hey, ChatGPT, ask me some deep questions that will get me thinking, get me reflecting on the like basically what I should be doing with my life. Like what's my life purpose and those kinds of things. Now, obviously, you have to do all of this with a grain of salt or take this advice with a grain of salt because, it is AI, it is a robot after all. It doesn't actually feel anything or sense anything. So that is something that's really important, is obviously to not get too caught up in that. But it is an extremely helpful tool, and it actually helped me sort of think through my own my own thoughts that I had been having up until that point. And it helped me figure out like what path I sort of need to be on. And so that's definitely something that you can do that really helped me out. Overall, I was just wanted to make this video because I remembered that time distinctly and it really hit me, and I had some memories about that. And I was like, you know what? I don't think I was the only one that experienced that. And so if you're going through that right now, keep pushing through. It doesn't last forever. And even though, the people around you might not be the most supportive, or, they might be urging you to make some pretty big life decisions that honestly you just don't feel prepared or ready to make, take your time, honestly level with them. Maybe you could even tell them what exactly is going on right now, even though they might not understand, so that you can have a bit more of a chance to have time to think and actually get some clarity. Because I'm not going to lie to you, like, it is a depressing time going through this, not really knowing what your next steps are in life, or not knowing like what path you should be going down, or what your purpose is, and all the different things that go along with that. It's scary, for sure, but it can be really healthy to just take some time. Like, you really don't need to rush your life. I know there's like this notion sometimes that we need to be in a hurry, that we need to know exactly what we're going to do right in this moment. But I think the people that, like, take some time to just sort of process a little bit, feel what they're feeling, and then go act afterwards, honestly act with, a lot more power, and they end up like achieving some actually pretty cool results than the people who just go, I don't really know what I want to do right now. I'm a little bit confused and lost, so I'm just going to, get a bunch of debt and go to university, or I'm just going to start this random job and whatever. And maybe you do, maybe you have rent or bills or whatever you got to pay, and so you're in need of a job right now. And so I totally understand that if that's the case. But like I said, all it comes down to at the end of the day is that, you're a human being. You were created with purpose. Like, you were meant to do something special here on this earth at this time. So it's about figuring out what that is. And there's lots of different ways to do that. The whole ChatGPT strategy is one way. Another thing you can do that I believe is quite effective is actually journaling, like writing your thoughts down. Not like the traditional, like, oh, this is what happened today. I ate hot dogs for lunch. Like, not exactly anything like that. But, like writing down your deep thoughts. These questions that maybe you've been having up until this point. Sort of diving deeper within yourself so that you can get that clarity that you're seeking. Anyways, just wanted to thank you for watching this video till the end. If you made it this far, just check out the top link in the description below. I wrote an ebook on this really, really cool principle that actually helped me get out of a big rut when I was doing sales, and it can help you in this exact scenario right now. So if you're interested at all, it's $6. Feel free to take a look. I have a page that I wrote that kind of explains what it is, tells my story a little bit more in depth. So yeah, feel free to take a look at that. But besides that, have a good day and bye.